Mention it off the top, the Big Ten Network on the road again. Get you set for the season ahead. Our annual training camp tour starts tomorrow in LA with USC. Continues through August 24th when we wrap things up in Iowa City. As always, visiting every team in the conference as our means of previewing the season. Trojans have already been on the field for 4 days. Remember, they play in week 0. Lincoln Riley sharing his thoughts on where the roster stands early on in camp.
The fun thing for me is I could go through most of the positions and make a pretty fair argument there that we're going to have a lot of guys play. We're going to be able to rotate. And that matters for competition, which obviously we all know competition makes you better. Iron truly does sharpen iron at this level. But also matters too for, being able to not preserve your roster, but to have, to give your roster the best chance of being as healthy as possible throughout the season. You look at our roster at the end of the season, the last couple of years, it's looked very, very, very different. And in football, sometimes that's going to happen. We got to give ourselves every chance possible to have as much of this roster available throughout the entirety of this season, and that's a big goal for our program right now.
Well, USC, we know incredible history, Jerry. The recent history hasn't quite been up to the level that they expect. You heard Lincoln Riley talking about the composition of his roster. I know we haven't had the luxury of seeing them in camp, but based on what you know of USC and what you've studied, how do you think where they are compares to the top of the league?
Okay, well, here's one thing that we've talked about on the tour all the time, right? As someone joins our group that has not been with us in the past, we always would say to them, when we get to Ohio State, it's going to look different than everybody else. And it's interesting, as new people have come and left our organization, they reaffirmed that when they saw them. I haven't seen USC. I mean, if I was going to see USC, I would want to know, do they look like Ohio State? They look like the most talented team in the 20 years that we have been doing this. Are they that caliber? Their history says that they have been at times. What they look like now, we don't know because we're not going to see them in camp. And so if they've closed that gap, then they're in position to take the next step. And they haven't been there. They haven't been OSU-like in the last couple of years that we've seen them. If it's changed dramatically, then they're going to be a team that looks like Ohio State. We just have to wait until they play because we won't see them in camp.
Yeah, I think about when Ohio State and USC played early on in the Tressel years, and USC just annihilated the Buckeyes. I mean, they were so good. And, you think back now, last 14 years, just one top 10 finish. There's pressure, no doubt, for this to be a team that at least finishes in that top dozen and makes it to the CFP. And again, listening to Lincoln Riley, it certainly sounds like he thinks he's got the roster to do it. Let's talk about Michigan. They're 3 years removed from a national title, but certainly a lot of upheaval, Jerry, in Ann Arbor, obviously bringing in a new head coach in Kyle Whittingham. What makes him the right fit in your mind for what they're trying to do to get Michigan not back to the level that they were at a few years ago, because they haven't strayed that far, but just to have some level of stability in the program?
Well, the first thing that tells us that there's going to be less chaos is, if you look at a dictionary, the opposite of chaos is Whittingham. Okay, just by personality.
I'll have to check what version of the dictionary I'm using. Mine might be outdated.
Just by personality, he's going to settle it down. But like he said in media days, they won 9 games. The players haven't done anything wrong. But as you and I have talked, he plays the style of play that has already been successful at Michigan in the past. In the last national championship under Harbaugh, they looked very much like a Utah team, right? Strong run game, good quarterbacks, really good defense. And so from a personality standpoint, I think he's going to be a calming guy for the team. I think the team's going to absolutely love him. Everybody's talking about how can this coach who's used to coaching 3 and 4 or 2 and 3 stars come in and start coaching 4 and 5 stars, because it's football, and football connects people, and they will love being around him. But the style of play, Rever, at the end of the day, has been successful in the past at Michigan, and it has a chance to be successful as we go forward now.
Yeah, I agree 100%. It just, the fit is a perfect one to exactly the points you made, right? That he wins in the exact same way that Michigan won. They got to figure out a way to take a step on offense, got to be better than they've been here the last couple of years. Jason Beck certainly did that at Utah last year, and he comes along with Whittingham. So hopefully that helps Bryce Underwood and get just a little more dynamic on the offensive side of the ball. Finally, another new coach at an elite program. I'm interested in what you think of Matt Campbell. We had a chance to sit with him at media days. What were your impressions of the new Penn State coach, who, unlike Michigan, has a really favorable schedule here in year one?
Well, I think he's veteran beyond his years. I mean, there's nothing that he can't answer that you ask very precisely. I mean, he knows what he wants. He's doing all the right things on campus, right? He's meeting with the players. They're constantly on, evidently not a lot of players used to go on the second floor. You know, you read a lot of things. Some of it's true, some of it's not, but it seems like he's very open to having conversations with players individually, which I think is one of the best parts of being a coach. He's reaching out to the alums. He's bringing different classes in. So he's doing all those things that I think any first-time head coach at a program should do. I think he's a model of that. But Rever, the 10 years at Iowa State says more about Matt Campbell than anything else. You know, that is a place that's difficult to win, and he managed to do it. And then the other thing is, you know, when you look at schedule, James Franklin always had very difficult schedules. This schedule is probably the most favorable schedule in at least the last 5 or 6 years that we've been covering Penn State.
No doubt. None of the college football playoff teams from a year ago. And again, you contrast that to Michigan. We were talking about USC earlier. Contrast it to them. Again, it's the luck of the draw. Some years you're going to fare well. Some years you're not in terms of the schedule. But really good spot for Matt Campbell in terms of the ability to show some progress very quickly in State College. We will wrap up the show next. From new coaches to new coordinators, which play callers are slated to have the biggest impact as they change locales? We will let you know. Stick around.